What's going on, guys? We knew this was coming soon, but I didn't think it'd be coming this soon. We just got the Diablo 3 PTR 2.7.6 patch notes, which is the PTR for Diablo 3 Season 29. So what do we got? The PTR is coming August 15th to August 29th, which makes me think we're probably going to get the season sometime early to mid-September. And I believe this is the first time ever in a Diablo series that we're getting an official solo self-found mode, which is pretty exciting for any solo players. We're also getting the Visions of Enmity seasonal theme. So we'll find out what that is here in a second. Also, the Paragon ceiling feature, which is super interesting. I'm excited to get to that. And then we're getting class balance updates and more. All right, solo self-found mode. So as it implies, you play solo and you can only get the gear that you find. No trading, just whatever you find yourself. I'm really hoping this is kind of testing the waters to see how the Diablo community reacts to this, to see if maybe they want to add it to Diablo 4. I'm just saying. We decided to bring solo self-found to Diablo 3 after years of players requesting an officially supported single-player mode. Without the experience bonus from being in a party, or other players to protect your back as you carve through demonic legions, this mode will temper you. To celebrate the accomplishment of those brave enough to roll a character in this mode, we have also created specific leaderboards for solo self-found. These leaderboards function like those of other modes. So they have separate leaderboards, so anybody playing solo will be ranked only against other solo players. Love it. To create a character in solo self-found, select the solo hero option in the character creation screen. You'll still be able to play the campaign and adventure mode just like you would in other modes, but only the private game option will be available to use. Challenge rifts can be completed with a party while the mode is seasonal. So we can do the challenge rift in a party at the beginning of the season if we want to get that early advantage and get that big cache of loot at the beginning. Solo self-found is a solitary journey, so you'll be unable to start this mode while in a party or access multiplayer aspects of Diablo 3, such as trading. Rebirthing is available for solo self-found. Alright, so Season 29, the Visions of Enmity. The nefarious machinations of the burning hell have permeated every corner of Sanctuary, warping reality in the process. This disturbance has given way to visions of enmity, pocket dimensions that are accessed by stepping through diabolical fissures. Nephilim level 1 or higher have a chance at encountering a diabolical fissure by slaying demons in the open world. Okay, so basically killing monsters can summon a portal, okay? Should your smiting of Hellspawn trigger a fissure, press onward and into a vision of enmity. What horrors await on the other side are unknown, but these instances are rich in rewards. The visions are quite unstable and have the potential to produce additional fissures after enemies are dispatched inside. Keep an eye out for these opportunities to maximize your chance of earning useful gear. Okay, so this is encouraging us to play the game in the open world instead of just spamming greater rifts. That's super interesting. I'm curious what their rich in rewards means exactly. Is that just going to be better loot? Or is there a specific kind of currency? I don't know. And you do have the potential to get an additional fissure inside the one you're already in, so it can continue to go deeper. I'm really curious how that's going to play out. New monster affixes. Watch your health, Nephilim. New powers originating from the burning hells have been bestowed upon all enemies inside the visions. Okay, only in the visions, making them more lethal than before. Enervating creates an area of effect around the monster that reduces the player's movement speed by 65% and cooldown reduction by 50% if the player's in the vicinity of the monsters. Okay, so that's going to be brutal for close-range characters. Interesting. Necrotic. The player's healing's reduced by 65%. That's not great. Monsters have a damage over time effect that deals 180% of the player's max health over 30 seconds. This effect is removed if the player is healed above 95%. Okay. And then Resource Leech. Hitting a player removes 65% of their maximum resource. Okay, that's not fun, but all right. All right, Paragon ceiling. This part I did skim ahead. I'm very intrigued by this. We're introducing changes to the Paragon points to work in tandem with solo self-found and the Season 29 theme. I'm curious if that means you have to be solo self-found or either way. Let's keep going. You can only assign a total of 800 Paragon points to your character, which is huge because previously we were getting 4, 5, 6,000 if we wanted to. Previously, you were only able to assign a total of 50 Paragon points to each attribute within the core, defense, offense, and utility categories. But now you can assign up to 200 in each attribute, but each category can only have 200 Paragon points max placed into them. So here's showing, as we've always had it, offense, defense, and utility, we've always been able to get a maximum of 200 points, which basically 51 here, 51 here, 51 here, 51 here. But now, if we want to, we can pump all 200 into crit chance if we want to. So we're really going to have to think about our builds and what's important to us. And then previous to this season, we could dump all of our additional points into core once we max out all the rest. But now we're still only going to be having 200 points within the core tab too. Super interesting. All right, we got a developer's note here. We understand that Paragon was king in terms of character power. With the change this season, we wanted to shift that power from main stat grinding to gameplay knowledge and gear hunting. We chose 800 as our initial starting point and would appreciate your feedback on this cap. There are many changes with the Paragon system to keep in mind. Movement speed. We changed movement speed to 0.125% per point because the old value would have provided players with 100% movement speed, which was too much. So a slight nerf to movement speed. Interesting. Players now have the option to place points into the stat, allowing them to surpass the 25% movement speed from item bonuses. Okay. So if we wanted to, we could just make a super speedy character and put all of our points into movement speed. So if we put 200 points at 0.125%, that would give us an additional 25% movement speed. Okay, so not crazy, but still pretty good. And area damage. Area damage should perform the same, if not a bit better, and with substantial improvements to performance. Okay. I'll take performance improvements. That sounds good to me. Community-led changes. With each patch and season, the community has communicated quality of life improvements they like to see added to Diablo 3. We always take the time to review the feedback we receive, evaluate it, and implement changes that align with our design principles for the game. Below is a series of highly requested quality of life updates that are included in patch 2.7.6 PTR. Thank you for your continued feedback over the years. Greater Rift monsters. Set 8 removed toxic lurkers and added vile swarmers. And set 10 removed dark berserkers and added savage beasts. So I don't know a ton about what monsters are in each set. I've just always kind of dealt with whatever got thrown at me. But I know people who really know this game well will fish for specific monster groups. So this is probably going to be changes that they're excited about. So they include some minor changes and fixes to the Monk and Necromancer. I'm not going to get into those. Miscellaneous. Removed Mastermind from the champion portion of the seasonal journey. This means you no longer must master a set dungeon. Thank you. Thank you. Those things are terrible. Anyways, instead, it has been replaced with Overcoming the Trials, which asks you to complete an Echoing Nightmare. Okay, those are cool. And the rest of these seem like just bug fixes. All right, then they go through all these class changes. I'm not going to get into these because there's a good chance some of them are going to change by the time the patch actually goes live, and I'll leave that to content creators who really know the nitty-gritty of all the classes a little better than I do. And then last but not least, they included some bug fixes, which I'm not really going to get into, but one I do find interesting is fix an issue with some icons in the Altar of Rights having hard edges. Altar of Rights was the seasonal theme from Season 28. Are they keeping that in Season 29? Because if that's the case, that's even more interesting. So that's the Season 29 patch notes. Are you guys going to try the solo self-bound mode? Are you going to come back and try Diablo 3? I sure am. Anyways, catch you guys later.